Hey, you guys, what is up? My name is Chrissy, and I'm just excited to record my first podcast show. Like, I cannot believe it's finally happening. I am praying, pray with me that I bring consistency and I'm persistent and that I give you guys exactly what you want. I want to give you guys the knowledge. And yeah, so I'm excited to start this podcast finally. My name is Chrissy. If you don't know me, I would like to spend this first episode with just letting you know a little bit about who I am, how I got started in the vending machine business. I know a lot of you may not even know how I got started and how I've gotten to where I am today. So I would love to spend this episode doing that. And then in the future, I would love to bring on people that I've actually helped to get in this business and kind of see where they are. And really just starting it from the beginning, which is really mindset. I promise you this will not be a whole podcast considered or just around the mindset word. However, I know that it played a huge part in my life. So I know for me, I was like, stop talking about mindset. Mindset is not going to change my life. When I first got started in entrepreneurship, and then down the line, I realized, oh my gosh, like it was like everything was centered around mindset. I just didn't know. So I didn't know that I didn't know that I didn't know it was about mindset. So I'm so excited to start this episode. So let's do it. Episode 1, podcast. Let's get it. And I don't even have a name for the podcast yet. So we're just going to pray for persistent, for me to be persistent, consistent, all of that. Okay. So let's get started. If you have never heard of me before, my name is Chrissy. I am the owner of Vending Factory. I love that vending machine business. And I want to talk to you about how I got started with that business. See, and this is why I do this. I got my assistant here literally giving me a call during my podcast. This is why. I'm gonna call you back. I'm actually in the middle of doing a podcast episode, girl, that I'm gonna have you on later. So I'll call you back. All right. So honestly, like, listen, what's funny about that phone call is I've actually explained to her about me starting a podcast and I just can never figure out the time. And I got to go to the gym when I drop my daughter off. It's just so much. Anyway, we're going to get started. And I'm also going to bring her on too, because her story is amazing as well. So I first got started in the vending machine business because my sister's friend had owned vending machines. And so we were all just in conversation and he was just like, I own vending machines. And my sister and I were like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you own vending machines? Like, hold on, back it up. What are you talking about? And so he's like, yes, I own vending machines at the casino. And basically, I go and collect the money and I restock them. And we're like, wait, so you're telling me that vending machines are not owned by larger corporations? Like anybody can own a vending machine? And he was like, yeah. And so he was a guy who looked like us. He was African American as well. So we were like, wait a minute, if he can do it, like this is something we can do. So my sister wasn't really super intrigued about the idea. She was already, she has her job. She's an RN. Both of them are RNs. And here I am, a school teacher. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, like this is up my alley. I did not ask him any more questions. For me, I like to do the research. So I was like, you know what? Let me go do some research. I went online. I went to a library. There were not a lot of YouTube videos back then. I mean, we're talking 6+ years ago. This is a long time ago. Weren't a lot of YouTube videos out there. There just wasn't really anything that any tangible information that I could really just say like, okay, like here's a blueprint. Let me just follow this, step 1, step 2, step 3. Nothing like that. The only people that were out there who were really who I call experts, they were charging like tens of thousands of dollars, $5,000 just to be mentored. And as a school teacher, I didn't have that kind of money. So I said, all right, you know what? Let me learn this business. I know I can do it. So again, went to the library, went researching, reading books in the library, just anything I can find. dealing with vending machines. Okay. So I ended up just saying, you know what? I think I got all the knowledge that I can acquire, which, let me add, it took me a year and a half just to get started. Okay. So I literally spent a year and a half researching and just trying to understand the business. Okay. Then I decided, all right, I think I know everything I need to know. I don't know really how to fix machines, but I know that there are people out there who can. So I have $1,000. I know I've researched on these sites to help me find machines. Let me go on the site. Went on a site called offerup.com. I ended up finding a vending machine that was, remember, I had a less than $1,000, right? So I ended up buying a vending machine that was called an AP, which is called an automatic product. It's a snack vending machine. It was $650. And I was like, all right, this is within my budget. Purchased that vending machine that was in my budget. And I was like, all right, I know that I have to buy these snacks. Well, snacks can range, depending on what you're buying, anywhere from $100 and up. So I said, you know what? I want to play this a little bit different. I don't really have that much money. I'm trying to budget. I actually got my friend to help me move the vending machine inside of the location. Like, he helped me do everything. He actually did it. It was him and his older son at the time. So I didn't have to, thank God, pay a lot of money for it to be transferred to the place. Okay. So I ended up buying snacks for around like $50 because I wanted to test the snacks out. I didn't realize that there were different ways that you can save money and figure out what they want before you actually place the vending machine. I didn't realize that. For me, it was all about, how can I save money? So I did buy like $50 worth of products and snacks, and I had a lot of leftovers. So I just wanted the vending machine to look full. So I just filled it up. So instead of having um every single row, every single row, like something different, I wanted to make sure that it just looked filled. So I just had like 3 rows of Snickers, 3 rows of Skittles, 3 rows of this. Like, I just put the same thing on every row, and I didn't put it all the way to the back of the machine. I kept it to the front so that the vending machine looked full, right? So that's what I did. And honestly, I didn't really think much of it. For me, I was like, if I can make like an extra like $200 a month, $100 a month, to me, it would be worth it. So I was like, if I can make my money back, I spent $650 on the machine. I spent money on the product. So for me, I was like, ooh, in about a year or about 2 years, like, I can make my money back with just having this machine if I only make around $100 a month. So that first month, I killed it. I made like $400 like the first 3 weeks. Killed it. And I was like, whoa, like, I almost made my money back. Within 2 to 3 months, I ended up making my money back. This is with opening my business. This is with paying my friend a little something for helping me move the machine. This is for the machine price. This is for the snacks. This is for everything that had to do with me going out and getting the products. You gotta account for gas too, because you gotta drive, go get the products. You want to account for everything in your business so that you don't have any missing holes. So I accounted for everything. And so I used that money to purchase another vending machine. And eventually I had what's called a vending machine route, which means a vending machine route is when you have a vending machine inside of one location, right? But you can have multiple routes, which you have vending machines in other locations. So let's say if I wanted to sell at that time, the first 6 months of me being in business, I wanted to sell the vending machine that was at the location that I had, and then the vending machine that I had in Miami, which was at a private school. Let's just say I wanted to sell that one route and just say, all right, these 2 vending machines, even though they're on location at 2 different places, I'm going to sell my entire route for this amount. I can go and then charge them for that one route. But if I, as an individual, and I'm just going out looking for machines that I call are already, or machine businesses that are already done for you, then I can buy that one route that was just at my first location and say, hey, I want to buy your vending machine and your location. That's one route for this amount. So, okay, does that make sense? Okay, all right, we'll get into it a little bit more down the line. But I want to say that that journey taught me that I can do anything I put my mind to, that I didn't need a coach. I didn't need anybody to help me, right? And when I say I didn't need a coach, I'm saying I didn't need the $5,000 coach, right? I didn't need the $10,000 plus franchise that people were selling me. Okay. If I could do it all over again, of course I would have had a coach, because it took me forever to learn how to scale my vending machine business to $50,000. But I didn't need the $5,000 coach, who at that time, all they were doing was helping you find a vending machine. They were not helping you look for a location. They were not helping you with anything but find a vending machine and figure out and help you on like the snacks and all of that, like what to put in the vending machine. There was not a vending machine coach out there, all right, who was giving you the game on how to find the best locations. It just didn't exist. So I did learn several ways for me to find locations, not only for myself, but for others. All right. Long story short, I ended up being a really good vending machine locator. So there were people who would be like, how are you getting these vending machine locations fast? How are you doing it? Like, what are you doing? And so I started selling locations, and I didn't even know it was a business. There was a guy who was in vending at the time, and he was like, Chrissy, do you know you could be selling these for like top dollar? There are people who retire from vending and then they sell these locations for like 2,000. And I was like, 2,000, what? Here I am, a school teacher, making money from my vending machines, but I didn't scale any of my vending machines to making $2,000 a month with one machine yet. So for me, I was like, $2,000 for doing what I already know. And that's just really, I wouldn't really call myself a people person. But I am very friendly, right? I'm actually a real life introvert, but I am very friendly to where I love striking up a conversation with people if they strike up the conversation first, or if I feel really comfortable with them, then I will. So, I always just had that connection with people to make them feel happy or make them feel loved, or I'm a very caring person as well. So I love just helping people, like helping people do anything. So normally when I would talk to business owners, I would just be having a good conversation with them, and I would be like, you know what? Hey, I own a vending machine business, and I help people who are looking for places to place their machine. Like, I help them, and so I can actually get a vending machine in your place, and it would be the best thing ever. And that was just things that I just did, right? So yeah, like that was my journey in vending, y'all. Like, when I tell you, I absolutely, absolutely, absolutely loved the vending machine business. It's always been my heart. Long story short, because I did not finish on how and where and how did I get to where I am now. So I started selling vending machine locations. I started learning how to sell locations online on Instagram. I started going on live streaming on selling, and I would sell locations, and I would literally drop them $500 a pop. People will buy my locations. And then I seen other people start to, like, I would have all of this knowledge, right? And I would share, not have, but I would share all of this knowledge. And then I would see other people like sell their products. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like, I'm over here dropping all this game on live. I'm dropping all this game on my page. I'm like dropping all this game, and people are like selling this knowledge. Like, I didn't even know you can sell this information. Lady got in my inbox and she's like, listen, I'll give you $3,000 if you just teach me the vending machine business. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Mind you, I'm still a school teacher. And I was like, you gonna give me how much, boo? Like, run that back. So I was like, well, I'm all into this. Long story short, I ended up not taking her $3,000 because At the time, I didn't know anything about high ticket. I didn't even know what high ticket was. So for me, I was like, this lady's gonna give me $3,000. Like, no, like I'm not gonna do that. I didn't have it at one point. So no, like I'm no. So I gave her a different price, which was man, it was so low at the time. It was so low. However, I'm still grateful that I did that because it still taught me a lot. It taught me just how much a girl was really worth. Taught me a lot. But um, I then started creating an ebook, creating a course, and then teaching people how to get in the vending machine business. To this day, I have probably around 25, I want to say 25 mentees in the vending machine business who first they learned the knowledge from me and then they went out, implemented everything. They have their own vending machine business. Some of them are actually making six figures. And they are now vending machine coaches. So I'm just so excited that they got the knowledge, they implemented the knowledge, they're doing it. And I'm going to also bring some of them on here as well because I love it. I love it. I love it. They do it in their hometown. So for me, it's each one teach one. That is the way to go. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this. Like I wanted the last thing that I do want to talk about, I'm sorry, was mindset. So I hope that just listening to this, you realize like how mindset played a role in my vending machine business and how I was able to go from being a school teacher to making my first $50,000 in the vending machine business to then learning to scale it to six figures, which I will talk more about in other episodes. But I want you to just gain the knowledge and understand that this can be done not only for you, but for pretty much anybody in your family. You can help them to do this. All right. So I'm going to be dropping more knowledge about that and just understanding the mindset that, listen, if I can do it, okay, with my daughter at the time, she was really young at the time, then you can do it. Okay. Vending has really helped me to change my life. It's helped me to purchase a home. I think I bought my house a long time ago. Bought my house a long time ago. But vending has really changed my life, and it can do the same for you. So for this podcast, my goal is that I can not only share experiences about the vending machine business, but just experiences that I've been through in general, like just for me collaborating with other business owners, learning about what they do, learning how you can implement that in your business, knowing how you can start another successful business as well and implement that in vending. And knowing the biggest part is knowing the multiple streams of income that you can have alone in just the vending machine business. There's multiple streams in vending alone that you can start up and that you can do and that you can have. All right. So you got this. I'll see you in the next episode. Please comment below and let me know, what are things that you would like to see? What are things that you would like to hear? What do you want me to share? What are some things that you would want me to spend 30 minutes to an hour breaking down? Either that's with a different business mindset, what I do on a daily basis, like even right now my daughter's in school. She wasn't in aftercare. This is her first year going to aftercare. She hasn't been in aftercare since, I don't know, first grade. So I put her back in aftercare because she wants to be around other kids instead of me picking her up, taking her home, and then us, going to her practices that she has. So anyway, so yeah, I pretty much have a full day of just working every single day. I do love it. I mean, I don't work every day, but I try. I definitely miss being a school teacher. Definitely miss that. I miss the kids. Oh, y'all, I do. I miss the kids so much. And some days I'm actually bored because there's nobody to talk to. However, I will catch you on the next episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I appreciate it. Catch you on the next one.